John Cola with DiscountJuicers.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you, and what we're going to do today is use an all-new juicer that I don't even think I've ever used in my life. Maybe once at a trade show, maybe I just saw it, I forget now. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the Omega C-20 commercial citrus juicer. So this is an electric reamer style commercial citrus juicer. It is ETL sanitation approved, which is equivalent to NSF sanitation. So this is the machine you need if you are going to use this in a commercial establishment. You need to be health code approved, and this is the machine that meets those specific requirements. In addition, this is a nice and heavy, heavy machine. It's super duty, probably going to last you for many years to come. You can put a nice large pitcher underneath here to catch your juice. We're going to go ahead and put about a 32-ounce container underneath. I mean, this unit is super simple. Basically, you got the main body here. It's all actually steel, chrome plated, nice and heavy duty. Then you got your 100% stainless steel juicing bowl. This makes cleanup a breeze. Literally, all the orange juice slides right off the stainless steel. Next, you have a stainless steel filter here where all the juice flows through and out the spout in the front. Finally, you have a little plastic juicing cone. Now, the cool thing is with the Omega C-20, they give you options, man. You get 3 different cones here depending on the size of your citrus fruit. So if you got lemons or small tangerines or some limes, you got a small cone. For bigger oranges and whatnot, you got a middle-sized cone. And then if you got them large, humongous grapefruits, you got a nice large cone. Now, if you're trying to juice pomelos that are super huge, you're out of luck. They don't make a cone for that. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and put on the smaller cone because actually we got some oranges, some nice Florida juice oranges, but they're actually a little bit smaller. In addition, one of the features I like is that actually they have a splash guard. So this is going to prevent the splashing. I'm going to actually kind of turn it towards me so I can use the machine, or you can turn it whichever way you're facing. Really simple, real easy. Now, the best way I've found to juice oranges is to take a bunch of the citrus fruit first and then literally cut it right in half. And once you got a whole bunch of oranges or any other citrus fruit in half, then you're going to start literally banging them out or juicing them right up. And always when cutting your citrus fruit to juice, you want to cut it on the equator. What does that mean? Well, the stem end, you always can see where the stem end is. Pretend that's like the North Pole, the South Pole is the opposite end, and then you're just going to take the knife on where the equator would be and cut it. This is the proper orientation to get the highest yield out of your citrus. I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy on. This runs at a nice, quiet speed, and this thing actually purrs fairly quick. We're going to go ahead and put that on there. Wow, man, this really grinds up that citrus super fast. Look at that, nice and dry. This is meant for speed production, man. I mean, this stuff is literally kind of splashing the juice around. I don't see too much of it actually escaping, but this is working fast and efficiently. Unfortunately, these citrus don't actually have a whole lot of juice inside of them, and this will actually give your hand actually a nice little massage. You kind of feel the vibration as it's going. Right, so I'm juicing with that small reamer, and it's maybe leaving a few parts of the orange not actually extracted. So we're going to go ahead and take this small guy out, put this middle one in its place to see how it does. Turn that guy on again, put this guy back in there. This guy runs fairly quickly, so if you have kids, you want to definitely supervise them. This machine should only be used by adults. Wow, that worked much better. Got it super dry. Now, one of the tips that I want to show you guys is that when selecting oranges or any citrus to juice, you want to pick oranges up that weigh heavy for their size. So, if you have the same given size orange in the grocery store, you want to pick the larger one that's actually heavier than the larger one that weighs less. The less the citrus weighs, the less juice that's contained within inside it. Wow, man, this is probably the driest orange that I've ever seen in any juicer. And it does it so quickly too. All right, so that's round 1. Let's go ahead and chop up the next batch of oranges. All right, we got our next victims here ready to be juiced. Turn this baby on. I mean, this bad boy runs real quick. Drop this guy in there. And it just literally sprays out all that juice. Nice and dry. Man, this machine's totally amazing. Other than the fact that it runs really fast and actually sprays the juice out all inside the cone, good thing it has that splash guard. It's actually working fairly well. Now, I want to encourage you guys to check my videos. I have a video comparing the reamer style machine with the press style machine. And I mean, I am biased. I personally like the press style machine a little bit better. With all the reamers, this one definitely works really well. Once again, this is for commercial applications. If you're just juicing at home once in a while, some oranges, you won't need this machine. If you have like, you know, citrus grove, this is something you may want to look into. So I want to share with you guys a technique that I'm kind of learning as I'm using this machine. I always encourage you guys, whenever you do any task in life, see how you can do it more efficiently and a little bit better. What I've learned is you take the orange and you kind of cup it in your hand like that and just put it right on the reamer. It's going to work a lot better than trying to hold it any other way. This machine does work very fast, and a few times actually the citrus actually has been literally pulled out of my hand. If I wasn't holding it like this, I'm literally making a cup with my hand and putting that orange right in the middle there, so it's nice and stable. Man, this works, actually is quite working fairly well once I got this technique down. Juices it right out. So check it out, this is working fairly well, although what I'm seeing on the inside here that I can't really easily show you guys, because this guy is actually quite heavy, is that there's quite a bit of orange juice that actually, and a pulp that is actually not going through those holes in that stainless steel strainer there. So I might, you know, once again with the machine off, put my hand in there and kind of like, you know, unblock the stainless steel so that some of the juice can go through, because this machine does create a fair bit of pulp and it's actually stopping it up. So once I do that, you can see here actually we're getting a nice flow of the delicious organic Uncle Matt's orange juice today. All right, on to our last round of oranges here. We're gonna go ahead and cut these babies in half. Now, when buying oranges to juice, I do recommend you try to get all consistent sizes. It looks like today we have two main sizes. We got a small and a medium size orange. So this is the small and there's the medium. So after juicing the small ones, I may want to change out the cone to just a little bit larger for more efficient citrus juicing. All right, once again, use that cup technique, works really well. Literally this thing just grinds out all the juice out of the orange there. We're gonna juice these small guys up, and then we're gonna go ahead and change this cone out. All right, last small one, let's go ahead and once again turn this baby off. This thing purrs like a kitten. I'm gonna go ahead and take that large cone there, take this mid-size off, put the large one on. Turn this baby back on, and always make sure that your cone is completely seated before turning the machine on. Now we're going to take these last large oranges. Once again, we're going to cup that in the hand like that. Put it down in there, and man, this thing really cranks. Gets all that juice out of each and every orange half. So what I want to share with you guys now is actually inside the cone here that you actually can't see. The cone spinning around, and in the little trough there where the juice is actually supposed to flow through that grate and then go into the collection bin there. Actually there's quite a bit of backup of the juice in there, and actually it's so high that when the little reamer is spinning, it actually creates little waves like the ocean, like a little tidal whirlpool thing. So what we're going to do is actually we're going to go ahead and put a new container in place. I think we got about 32 ounces of juice there. I'm going to carefully with the machine off, take my hand and kind of move some of the pulp out of the way and let this guy empty to see how much juice is actually stuck in the bowl here that is not able to come out because you know, the pulp is getting stuck in the little straining basket. You know, I would maybe encourage Omega to look at to see if there'd be a more efficient design for the straining baskets that it does not get as clogged up, or maybe if the reamer design could be changed so that it actually wouldn't grind off a lot of pulp and just get mostly the juice, and so the strainer once again would not get clogged up either. Because it's really rare that I find a juicer that actually has this issue. Most citrus juicers work fairly well, and yes, you'll get the occasional pulpier oranges that will, you know, clog up the little strainer, but this seems that it's happening a little bit too much for my liking. So looks like we got pretty much all this stuff strained out, and there is still a fair bit of pulp that's mildly wet, but mostly all the liquid has come out. Let's go ahead and tip this guy up and see how much more we got. Whoa, look at that. A lot more orange juice coming out, and because I am pushing it through the strainer now, it's actually a fair more bit pulpy. So this is not the machine you want to get if you want to, you know, a pulp-free orange juice. This is definitely going to put a good quantity of pulp in your juice. So we got 2 last oranges here to cut in half. We'll have about 5 halves left, and run this through the Omega C-20 citrus juicer. Let's see what we get. Once again, line that guy up properly. I have had the citrus ripped out of my hands because this machine is that powerful a few times if I wasn't paying attention and doing it properly. So the best thing I found if the citrus does get whipped out of your hands is to just let it go, turn the machine off until it fully stops, and then go ahead and you know, reach in and then grab your orange and dispose of it properly. Another thing I've learned is that you want to then dry off your hands of all the, you know, citrus juice and the wetness, because that'll make it a little bit harder for you to hold on to the citrus that you're actually juicing. Okay, now that I'm all dried up, let's get back to these last few oranges. All right, here's the last half. We got the juice here. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this guy out, and once again, we got that little whirlpool thing going on inside. I mean, this thing is full of juice. The pulp is not flowing through, it's getting stopped, and neither is the juice flowing out. As you guys can see, there's barely any juice is coming out. We're going to go ahead and kind of try to like push some of the juice through the little strainer, and at the same time we're going to get some pulp too. I mean, what I can tell you about the Omega C-20, this is the fastest citrus reamer I've ever used. I haven't seen one that has ever actually moved quicker than this. I'm a bit sad that actually the little reamer here is actually fairly sharp and tends to put a lot of pulp in the juice, in my opinion, and that the screen design holds back too much of the pulp. I think I juiced in total maybe about a total of 10 pounds of citrus so far, and you know, it's done quite well, but once again, quite a lot of bit of pulp to deal with in here, and I'll show you guys that at the end here. All right, we're just tapping some of this orange juice through the screen. Gonna go ahead and pour this guy up, and look at all that extra juice come out. In addition, you guys could hopefully see now in the video some of the extra pulp left in here. I mean, there's a fair bit of pulp. I mean, we did juice a lot, but this pulp is actually fairly wet, and you know, maybe this machine isn't super efficient in some levels if it is leaving this pulp this wet and it's actually not working properly and going through the stainless steel strainer like it should. Hopefully in the future Omega will make improvements in this, but until then I can definitely say the Omega C-20 is the fastest citrus reamer juicer I've ever tested. In addition, it is commercially certified for use in restaurants, juice bars, commercial citrus processing operations, and likewise. I'm going to be sure to enjoy some of my fresh made orange juice. Nothing is better than fresh. I always say freshest is bestest. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors. All right, this is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com to have another exciting episode for you. And what we're doing is we're coming out here from the Natural Product Expo West 2014 here at the Tribest booth, and I'll be doing a demonstration today using the Slow Star